That is fine. So
monitor.
I will be, yeah, let me share my screen and it will be very helpful for you to understand. So a couple of questions I will be
Okay.
also openly discuss with you. So if you see
Okay.
here, we have questions related to when it comes to recruiting, recruiter, I call it recruiter experience as well. There are two parts. One is focused on a recruiter, another is focused on the candidate. There can be questions which are related to recruiter. It may cover topics like your, let's say, job requisition. They can ask questions like how do you take care of job requisition, how do you create, means what are the questions generally you ask for business, what kind of typical things, okay, they may ask these questions. Okay, so like key features, this is something we do have recruiter experience, we have candidate experience. Also we do have something called not a product, candidate relationship management. Okay, I think you are coming from a CRM, but there's another CRM here in Success Factor. We do not call it
What
CRM
is
as
that
such,
one?
but it is, sorry,
What is that? The third one you said, candidate
candidate relationship management.
relationship. Okay.
Candidate relationship management. So it is applicable where, because many times uh, candidate may not be interested currently, but maybe in the future opportunities they may be interested, so you just keep them warm. I think same concept is also there in some other product as well. So those things they may ask, like active candidates, passive candidates, right? Some candidates may not be that much actively looking for, but as a recruiter your
Okay.
job is to make them active. Okay, so you will be getting, they will be getting notifications and all. Hmm. So those questions also can be asked in the interview. Okay. So we do have job posting. What kind of job posting? We do have internal job posting. We do have external job posting. Okay. So all those details they may ask. And also job board. You are already aware of the kind of job board you are having in Australia, right? So whether they can be integrated with success factor. Most of them are yes. Okay. So you have to, maybe those kind of questions they may ask. Like sourcing, like from where candidates may come. Okay, so it can be your directly in the company portal. These days, social media also. Okay, like LinkedIn. Okay, Instagram. Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. All the social media you should be have a presence. Okay, the company should have presence. Okay, so those details they may also ask. Other than that, we do have uh, video interviews, remote interviews, even if some meeting is, let's say, some interviews happen in face to face, but after this COVID and all, we do have also on video and remote interviews. Definitely Zoom, Microsoft Teams. Okay, Microsoft Teams has a integration with SuccessFactor recruiting. Okay, they may ask questions related to that. What kind of what kind of tools you have used for remote interviews. Okay, it can be Microsoft Teams, Zooms, and which can be integrated with your success factor. Okay, so those details also they may ask. Other than that, assessment is also a very important part. So many organizations also conduct psychometric test. You must be aware of, right? Psychometric test, or it can be, if it is at the initial level, like a campus and all, they may conduct some kind of a verbal aptitude, all those initial level vocabulary, those kind of basic stuff. Okay, that assessment also can be done, and there are assessment provider also, and those can be also integrated. Have you? They may ask, okay, have you ever worked with any assessment vendor? And those once people complete those assessment, those results will be coming up to you, your success factor. So that is also pretty much doable. Okay. So those are the very basic things. If you once you go through these questions, right? Even if you, these are actually open-ended questions. So for knowingly, currently as per your roles, I have not put any product question very specific to that. Mostly these are business analyst, business architect, those kind of questions I have put it here. So like here, if you see,
Mostly,
hmm,
mostly they ask me like to practice,
hmm,
or to understand like what are the challenges, since I have not worked
hmm,
on this recruitment or onboarding. what kind of challenges, like I can say, related to recruitment or onboarding that I had, like which you think
Huh.
that, you think is genuinely possible to
Huh.
say, yeah.
Yes. So when it comes to challenges, this is a very common question. It is easy to answer in a project scenario, but mostly from my experience also, I will say, let's say you are having integrations where success factor employee central is not your core. Means non-SAP applications you are having. Let's say you are having some third-party organizations which is having as a third-party tool, HRIS system, which is not SAP SuccessFactors, you're having integration with SuccessFactors recruiting or onboarding. Okay. In that case, you may face some challenges, okay, during the data migrations and all those. Okay. It will take some time, but generally those are the common challenges. Similarly, let's say uh, whenever you're scheduling your interview, okay, in the last moment somebody wants to cancel, okay, during cancellation process, okay, if the notifications are not properly configured, or generally people do not check the email always, right? So that kind of a challenge. There is maybe you have to look for some SMS, or is there any WhatsApp integration? That is a better solution. But many of the organizations I have not seen, they have not gone to that level, like WhatsApp integration, SMS, enablement. Generally these days, mostly people do email notifications only, but if the candidate has not accessed, okay, that will be a problem, right? Other than that, whenever you're designing from a configuration, I think that will be a design question. I will not recommend to do answer that. Mostly in case of job requisition template and all, if there are any changes, or if you're having multiple uh, different types of offer letter, different types of job requisition for different categories of people, okay, that could be a challenge from a configurations point of view, also management point of view. Generally, organizations standardize those configurations, those templates, job requisition template or offer letter templates. But if the organization have not standardized, simplified, every time you have to remember which template for what, and from managing those templates, those many number of templates, sometimes it is challenging. Okay. Other than that, if you have implemented recruiting analytics, or let's say success factor analytics, or you have, and you do not have proper data is always a challenge. Okay. Let's say the data is coming from some third party source. Okay. And if it is not operated on a real time basis, okay, then you will not be getting the appropriate those values in the dashboards and all. Okay, many a times that is also manual thing. Okay, if you have not configured all those details. So these are a couple of 2 to 3 things. Generally, challenge integration. You can also mention a challenge. Can already I mentioned that. So those are the few things you can tweak a little bit, whatever you think. Got it?
Um, so I mean, the challenges is part. So what did I do to resolve each, scenario that you're saying? Because they will ask me that one, definitely. Like for you are
Uh,
saying the data migration, if you're using non-SAP systems like third-party tools, HRIS tools, we might have challenges during data migration. So what would I say that I did to fix it? Because they'll
Yes.
ask
So
me.
in case of such scenario, if the organization is not ready to move to, let's say, SAP applications, we generally recommend to have your, if you're having all the application in SAP, it will be very easy. Okay. But if the organization is not ready, we cannot enforce them, right? So what we can do, maybe we can educate them, like what kind of templates are available and what kind of data we may need instead of last moment. Okay, you can tell, you can say are those template in advance, what kind of templates, whether those APIs, SuccessFactors, all the capabilities, all the APIs, but that third party tools, whatever they are using, whether it is supporting to that or not, that you have to take. If it is a popular software these days, many HR application, HRIS applications, they do have APIs, compatible APIs and all. Okay. But that you need to coordinate with the implementation partner in advance. Okay, not in the project. Okay, at the beginning itself, if you're aware of, take hold, means take those inputs from those SAP team or your implementation partner, whether those APIs can work or not. Another thing, second strategy can be implement, instead of implementing everything, you take small scenario, make it proof of concept, Okay, if it is working for a particular one scenario, definitely the other scenarios will also work. Like let's say you are testing for three templates, okay, requisition template or offer letter template. Try with one. If it is working for one with non-SAP application integrations, definitely it will work for the others as well. Okay. So those kind of things you can tell from a business point of view. That is one scenario. Other than
So
that,
scheduling interviews, if the notifications are not going to that candidate,
hmm,
what can we say we did to resolve
uh,
it? Maybe find an
yes.
alternative email address, or how do we
So
reach?
yes, yes. So in this scenario, first of all, you have to solve it layer by layer. First, you have to check whether it is working during your testing phase. Check one with one internal candidate. Okay, whether it is working internal domain or not. If it is working fine, then there is no issue in internally. If you're testing with some test ID, some other external candidate, check with your IT infrastructure team whether they have logged. Generally, in the initial phase, so it may happen the whenever any notification goes outside of SuccessFactor, if it is blocked by IT team or infrastructure team, okay, so you have to check whether it is blocked or it is parked somewhere. Okay, those mails are not going. Okay, that is one thing you can analyze. Okay, or whenever you're testing some for such scenario, whether it is happening for all candidates or it is generally happening for okay one or two candidates like that. So we cannot go for in that way. Generally, you test it with your ID, your personal ID or your cat clients. So maybe some there are some also so many exposable your email IDs are these days available, right? So you can test with a couple of them and check whether the email notifications are sending it out to the system from SuccessFactor or not. Okay, so those way, if it is going in that way, then it will definitely go for other your actual candidates or not. So those kind of testing you can do. IT infrastructure, first of all, you have to unblock. Okay, you don't have to block any external domain like generally Gmail and all. Couple of many organizations they do have some kind of a restriction. You cannot send an email to a Gmail ID, or sometimes they give a declaration that yes, I'm sending it, but it is for business purpose. Okay, so those kind of things may be some stopper. Okay, at your infrastructure level will be there. So those kind of details you have to check it out whether those kind of blocker are there or not. If not, then it could be sometimes it should not go to spam and all. Generally, our recruiting mail, SuccessFactor mails they do not go to the spam and all. Okay, because these are important mails and all. So those are easy one. So you can tell them that yes, it is some of the initial phases you may have this kind of challenges, but over a period of time, okay. So this will be no challenge. Just one time. There are mostly one-time challenges you will face. You may face it. Yeah.
Okay, so the job requisition you mentioned the different templates I use for configuration. I think they're not standardized templates.
Mm.
So what did I do to resolve them? Like,
So when it comes to job requisitions, right? Generally, what happens for experienced candidates, you may need different types of field. Maybe you will be asking them questions like previous experience and all. But suppose somebody you are hiring for a campus, your strategy will be different because whenever you are visiting a campus placement or student recruitment, you know already that these are freshers or you don't have to take everything from scratch. Maybe you can follow a different strategy. Maybe you can follow different templates there. Okay, so that is an example. Or let's say you are hiring for senior leadership. Okay, so they maybe there are certain fields which are required, which is very unique to the senior leadership. Okay, so in those cases also you have to ask key questions. You can have a separate templates for that. Okay, so templates, making those templates are not so difficult. SAP provides the standard templates, and you require to generally the implementation partner do that. And today in these days, if you are talking as a business user, so as a business user, uh, from the front end also you can change it. Let's say some fields may be mandatory. Okay, you want to make it. You don't have to do a XML code these days. Okay, you can do that. That option is there still. Okay, but from the front end, if you want to change anything, you can also do that from the front end by selecting a particular field, okay, yes or no, If it is mandatory, make it yes. Okay, required is equal to yes. So those kind of few changes as a business analyst, as a business user also, you can do it from the front end. So that kind of things SAP has recently, even for last 1.5 years, they have brought it. They have more simplified those XML, so you can do that as well. Not a problem. Got it?
Okay, and you talked about recruitment analytics. What is that? And what are the challenges you could have?
Huh. So when it comes to recruiting analytics, so you have various type of KPI. So I will just send one link. It is not an SAP thing. Okay. Recently I came across recruiting KPI. Okay. So KPI is AI HR. So whenever you are measuring these KPIs, you have to ensure those data exist in your system. Okay, those type of data. Okay, whenever I'm saying recruiting, right, these are the different so they may ask in the recruiting analytics what kind of KPIs you use. Okay, so you can tell that in the analytics we do have parameters like cost per hire. Okay, so what kind of cost whenever you're hiring candidates, right? So what kind of cost it may involve? Cost per hire, it is a one parameter. Okay, so in your recruiting dashboard, definitely we will be seeing whether your cost per hire is increasing or decreasing over a period of time. Okay, that can be also. And for that, you should have data in your system, right? Because whether you are having any specific details like if any referral cost is there or is there any. So whenever you're hiring, there could be some advertising for that particular position you have posted, right? So those kind of cost can go. So this link I will be sharing with you. Just have a look into it. There are different parameters like source quality, okay, whether your quality of candidates are good or not. And if you are seeing over a period of time, let's say after 1 year, after performance appraisal, you are not thinking, rather you are seeing that people who came from a particular source, let's say through employee referral or a LinkedIn, they're actually are getting very good candidates. Okay. Or people, when it comes to student recruitment, whenever you are having students from a particular university or particular college that are performing very well. Okay. So that is a kind of a parameter you can see that this KPI will help you to understand the quality. So that in the next year, what you will do, it will help you. You can hire more people from those kind of a source. Okay. So those kind of job sites. Okay. If a particular job site is very relevant, very good profile it is providing, definitely you can work with those job sites or recruiting agencies. Okay. If they are very specialized in providing very high quality. So there are a couple of parameters, KPIs. We use all these things. Okay. But for that, you have to ensure those data, because without data, system cannot bring this KPI, filled KPIs in your dashboard. Okay. So this you can tell, although you have configured all the KPIs, maybe you do not have the data. So this figure will be this image you can remember: cost for hire, number of qualified candidates, quality of hire, time to hire, offer acceptance test. Let's say even if you're rolled out say 20 offer letter in this current month, but only 10 people have accepted. So you have to analyze what is the problem. Okay, so if the system is not having data, it is very difficult to understand whether why people have not accepted your offer. Maybe there was a candidate engagement was not good. So whenever you are sending any feedback from the candidate after interviews, okay, they have given some details you have not studied, you have not analyzed those details. Okay, so those details also can be as an impact, it can come to you. Okay, so there are a couple of KPIs. It is like candidate net promoter score, whether you will recommend someone to your company or not after you getting hired, right? That will be an NPS, not net promoter score. Okay. Similarly, the faster turnover rate. People have joined your organization, but within 6 months they have left the organization. There could be some challenges. Okay. It could be some cultural challenges. It could be some managerial challenges, right? Technical. Okay. So there are some couple of parameters. Okay. Whenever you are going for a recruiting dashboard, right? Or recruiting analytics, there are many more. There are some 20, 30 plus KPIs, but these 8 to 9 KPIs, if you remember well, and you can explain them, okay, it will be very easy, okay, to understand, so that you will be understanding. Okay. So a couple of them are there here. You can go for this. I will share this blog with you. And generally, I refer this link. Is very authentic material, and you can go for this content. So this
Yeah,
is
can you share
regarding
that link?
your. I've said already said in the chat. You can just go
Okay.
for that. Hmm.
Is there a way to show me like 5-10 minutes how the recruitment module looks like? Like, probably I won't get chance to go through the videos, but if you can
I
just,
think yeah. So you can go through this because I have few another 5-10 minutes only. What I will do, I will share the simulations. Okay, so simulations you can try. So I will just send you the link. I think already shared that already before. So if you go here in the simulation, couple of things, couple of the tasks you can also do perform yourself. So I'll just show you one or two. Yeah. So if I go here in the simulation file, we have recruiting. So we have 4 scenarios here. Let's say recruiting management in SuccessFactors. I will go for this.
Mhm.
Recruiting
Where
management
is
in
this one?
SuccessFactors. So you have seen there are so many scenarios are here. Okay, you can try all the scenario. Okay, maybe if or couple of them like how to conduct a pre-screening of interview, how to create a standard job requisition. This is a very simple one. Okay, so let me go take you through that.
How did you get to this page? Under the
I
recruitment?
think I already shared this link, right? The demo earlier or not. Otherwise, I will send it again.
No, no, no.
Let me send it. Okay.
Yes,
It is
please.
in the
You can send me.
platform, but anyway, I will send this link to you. Control C,
Yeah.
Control V. Yeah. So you can save this, okay? And it will not take more than 1 hour. Even if you spend 1 hour, right? At least 7, minimum 10, 15 scenario. Each scenario will not take more than 5 minutes. Okay. So if you see here, how do you create a job requisition? I will quickly show you that. You have to go to the SuccessFactors homepage from here like this.
Mhm.
Go to the homepage like this. From homepage, go to recruiting module. And from recruiting module, once you go there, right hand side, you will get an option called create new. You can see the existing job requisitions here. In the top, you can see what are the sub modules inside recruiting. Like you can see candidate, interview portal, interview scheduling, job requisition, sources. Okay. Similarly, here you can see create new. So from here, you can create a job requisition. And there are some standard job requisition. Okay. So you can see this is a template. So you can create as many as template. Okay. So what I will do, I will create a new job requisition. And here I can say what could the job title. Let's say I'm hiring for a product owner. Okay, for SuccessFactors recruiting. So I will simply write here product owner. And what is the due date for that? Who is the hiring manager? Who is the recruiter? Okay, all the details you can fill it up here. So
Okay.
system will ask for those details. Once you fill up, this is how a typical pipelines means flow, the route map. Okay, the workflow looks like you create a requisition. Okay, then it will go for an here it is saying their upline manager. It is the hiring manager only. Hiring manager will review, then recruiter. But again, it can be customized. This is a very standardized. I'm showing to you. Maybe in your organization you are having 3 level. After recruiter, there is another talent acquisition head. He is also has to review. Okay, you can design. This is can be customized. Okay, so this can be customized. And once you go here, this route map. So the route map is nothing but your workflow. Okay, so once you keep filling all the details here, automatically the requisition IDs will be created. And you can fill up what is the date, okay, by which you are going to fill it up. Then what is the job title, what is the job description, all those details you can fill it up here. Okay, so this is how a typical job requisition screen looks like, right? And when I say external, internal means suppose you're posting a job internally, okay, for an IJP, internal job posting, then you can utilize this internal JD. Otherwise, it can be external, whether that job requires travel or not. So similarly, ERP amount means if you are having some referral bonus for this position, yes or no, or that amount you can give it here. Okay. Similarly, location, which location Okay, you are posting this job. You can have also multiple locations. Okay, and which country you are recruiting for. Then all the position details. Okay, like legal entity, business unit, division, department. Okay, so this is the one kind of job requisition which you are creating from scratch actually. Okay, there's another way. If your position is already defined and that position is already vacant, you don't have to go through in details. Rather, you go to direct to the position. Automatically, these things will be filled up. Okay, so there is another way of doing it, but I'm showing something which is from scratch. Okay. So whenever you're doing for the initially, you can do this way. Okay, for testing purpose, and there are multiple way of doing it. So you can see division is a corporate, and for department, corporate leadership team you're hiring for. Okay, and what's with the cost center. Hmm. So all the details we have to fill up here. So very simple template, and all these fields you can see most of them are mandatory, and wherever you are seeing there are some fields not mandatory, and you can also, if you want to remove or if you want to make it mandatory, or if you want to introduce new fields, custom fields, that also you can do, and that you can do it using template. So, but again, that is not your generally jobs. Generally, implementation partner, okay, those consultants generally do that. But nowadays, things becoming very easy to do all these things. So here also you can see this as it is US specific. So there are certain US specific things they're asking, FLS status and all those stuff. Hmm. Interview guide documents means what kind of rating you have to give in the interview process. This is for an interview. Okay. So this is how your job requisition will be created. And once then it will be going to the particular hiring manager or the offline manager in this scenario. Okay. Then they will be getting the notifications and they will continue. Okay. So this is something how a typical job requisitions will be created in your success factor recruiting system. Okay. So this is a simple,
What is
very simple
the
process.
what is the
Hmm.
what is the difference between position and job profile? Like when you create a job requisition,
Hmm.
it takes in data
So
from, the position and job profile.
So basically, whenever you're creating from the job position management, already the position will be having the data like this position belongs to this legal entity, and this position is for this particular department division. So all the data will be there. Automatically, those data will flow. Okay, so that is the
Okay.
difference. But here, whenever I am creating like this, it will be like from scratch. Okay, suppose you do not have anything in your system. Okay, then you can go for that process. Otherwise, you can always try. Okay, and the best practice is always create it from the position. So from the position itself, if you are creating, okay. So if I go for this one, I think I do have a scenario or not. Let me check it out. Posting a job. So all the scenarios are here. You can try some hands-on, okay, simulation if you have some time. But it's super easy. Okay, if you go through this simulation, but while doing in the system, it will take some time because these are all simulation. So it is so quick because they're already defined and has been created. Okay, but in the real system, it may take more time based on the configuration, data, and everything. Okay, so that is something you can go for. So this is the second
So
one. I will
position,
just show you. Yeah.
yeah.
So this is something called pipeline job requisition. Okay, this one also you can utilize. But again, this is from a blank template. Okay, and you want to create a. This is something which you're. When I say pipeline, at present it may not be directly needed, but in the future you are looking for a particular job requisition, okay, in the pipeline. For that reason it is called a pipeline job requisition, more or less similar, nothing much difference. Okay, only the thing is the future one. You are also you can do bulk hiring also in some cases. Okay, that's the thing. So we can just go through the scenario, whatever you think is relevant, okay, which you can grasp in a short period of, because a very limited time, and you just have a look into this, okay, whatever the scenario possible. Okay. And it will give you a more understanding. Okay, that will be simple for you. Got it?
One thing.
Yeah.
I understand, you can create the job requisition from the position.
Hmm.
What role does the job profile have? What is there in job profile? Position and job profile are related to each other, basically.
So there is something called job profile builder. Okay, we have a concept called job profile builder. In that, what we do, those job description will be inbuilt. Okay, what skills are required for the particular job. Okay, let's say you are hiring someone from Salesforce. You already know that for Salesforce also we have a different level. Okay, maybe somebody you are looking for a project manager, his skill set may be different. Suppose somebody you are hiring for at a fresher level. Okay, maybe you require a certification at least. Okay, or somebody
Okay.
who has at least 2 to 3 years of implementation experience you're looking for. So what exactly we are looking for, that we put it in the your job profile, right? Or in the job description we put that, so that same thing will be reflected whenever you are posting the job, okay, or you are posting this job requisition in, okay, in any job portal, it will appear like that. Okay, that is the difference whenever we are going for any posting a job requisition and all. Okay, so the job profile will say these are the different options, these are different skill set required for this particular job, and you can post that particular job. That's the thing, key thing for there. Got it?
So
I know it is
the
very,
job
yeah.
profile, so each job profile is attached to a particular position then, is it? Because
Yes. So whenever you're posting a job requisition, so in that you can attach a job profile to it. Okay, maybe that particular job profile is this particular skill set is required for this particular thing. Okay, you can define it.
okay, okay, all right. Sometimes they mention that, there could be pre-screening, right? Questions.
Mhm.
What kind of pre-screening is done?
Uh,
If
so
you could tell me.
pre-screening, actually, if you go for any kind of pre-screening, let's say first pre-screening, maybe suppose you are hiring for someone who you are looking for, let's say, who it requires, it's a consulting role, and the role requires 70 to 80% of a travel. Okay, so but many people have applied, but whenever you are doing a screening, you came to know that many people are not interested to travel, okay, because of the family or some other issues in their life. Okay, so put a pre-screening question in the job screen, job requisition itself, asking people that whether you are open for travel. If they are selecting no, automatically screen out them. You don't have to go to consider for the next level, next stage. Okay, so that
Is
kind of
that like a
pre-screening.
is that like a acceptance criteria sort of thing for the pre-screening questions? Would
You
it be
can do
part
that.
of
You can consider in that way. Okay, so basically, if you're looking for someone, we do not require which requires a travel, but you are not, the candidate has responded no. It doesn't require, he or she cannot travel much. Okay, then in that case, you have to reject. Otherwise, there can be an options uh, like suppose somebody is from other country and he requires a visa and he is not having visa. So you can ask a question, do you have a visa? Yes or no. If saying no, because let's say you are not sponsoring, there's no point in taking that candidate to the next level, right? So those kind of things you can put in your questionnaire, okay? So that you get the right candidate, you don't have to put everyone in the your bucket. Okay. But whatever you are seeing here, this is little different here. Here, this is a kind of a, you are actually already the person is screened, but here in this scenario which I am showing, it is a kind of a eliminating. Suppose you are receiving a lot of applications and you're eliminating by going through their profile and all. This is also known as a pre-screening. Whatever I told to you, this was an example of a filtering. Okay, before you go for initial resumes and all, at the application initial level itself, you are filtering, okay, to people what kind of profiles you are actually looking for. Suppose doesn't require any travel, he is not ready for travel, okay, or not having visa and all, okay, and you don't have to sponsor. In those cases, you can at the application level, job recognition level itself, you can filter them out. Yes, that is the meaning. Yeah, got it.
Okay. So the next question I had is when I was going through the slides, okay?
Mhm.
Slide was it? Okay. So it was the internal candidate experience, okay?
Mhm.
There is a
Mhm.
step in internal candidate experience where um, there is a step where complete candidate profile and
Mhm.
application. Who does that? Is that's an employee who does it,
Mhm.
or a candidate, a potential candidate who does
Uh,
it?
Yeah, very nice question. So whenever I'm saying candidates, there are two types of candidate. One is an internal candidate, and another is external candidate. Whenever I'm saying
Okay.
internal candidate, those are the already existing employee of your organization. They're applying for an internal job posting. Okay. In that case, they have to also update their profile for the roles inside the organization. If they're an external candidate, it is filled by the candidates outside the organization who are applying for that job. Okay. It is purely based on those candidates only. It is whether it's an external candidate or internal candidate, they have to do themselves. They have to fill up just like you update your details whenever you're applying for a job in LinkedIn, or you're applying for a job by going to the career site. They will be asking a lot of information. And if they're giving an option to apply with LinkedIn, when you click that apply with LinkedIn, all of your LinkedIn data will be flowing to that their career site, the candidate profile basically. Okay, that parsing can be happen. Okay, so those kind of details also possible. So it will be filled by the candidate himself or herself. No need to any other one. Not
Okay. So the candidate profile will fill, but what is the candidate application? Do they
hmm.
need to?
It is again will be filled by the candidate himself. Let's say you have already created a profile, but at present maybe you are not applying for any job. Okay, so your candidate
Mhm.
profile is ready in that company, in that organization's database. But whenever you are getting a right job, right opportunities, whenever you're applying, that will be known as your job application. So we have a different template for candidate application, another template for application, job application. Those are two different things from a success factor
Okay.
product point of view. Got it?
Okay. As a business analyst, what are the challenges usually you think can happen when you're dealing with stakeholders in terms of
Hmm.
gathering the requirements? Like it could be setting up, like what you were saying, the route map, right?
Route map,
Um,
yeah. Initial
it's
stages
a
of route
workflow,
map.
right? Yeah, which is a
True, true.
workflow, right?
Workflow. It
So
is a workflow.
yeah. So what kind of information is needed as a business analyst that I need to make sure that I ask the recruiter, or mainly we deal with recruiters, I feel here, right?
Hmm.
The
Yes,
recruiters will
yes.
be our business, a
Hmm.
client who will be giving us the
Yes,
requirements. Yeah.
yes. Yes, yes. So mostly the data, what are the data you are asking, this will be updated always if it is a data, okay? Or what kind of, if it is analytics, what kind of KPIs are they really looking for? Or if they are looking for any candidates, what kind of candidates, what kind of skill set, very clearly mentioned in the JD, so that the matching will happen properly. Okay, so that kind of details you may ask. I think the Zoom will be now will be good. So I have another meeting. So anything else?
Yeah, just one last question. As a business analyst, when this requirement is configured, where do they
Hmm.
test? Is there a testing sandbox, or
Test
here in
instance,
success?
test instance itself. You have to test it. We have a dedicated test instance. Okay, we can test it there itself in SuccessFactor.
So do they do the UAT? The business does the UAT